Hi, I want to talk today about some relationship stuff. I wanted to talk about something that's going on in the news right now, and I only really know this because of its relationship stuff. But like if you watch, for example, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Kyle and Dorit are having some serious marriage issues. So Kyle and her husband are separated, and the main thing that she cites is that he's so wrapped up in his work. And she even says, if he would just make the time and energy for me and our marriage that he does for his work, this would be okay. And they've been together many, many years. I want to say like 25-ish. And then Dorit, kind of a similar thing. Her husband is away in London quite a lot with his work. And so it's leaving both of these women feeling very disconnected and lonely. Are you or your spouse, maybe even, feeling lonely in your marriage because one or both of you are too busy wrapped up in your work? This is something I really try to focus on with my clients and then also in my own marriage because I work quite a lot. And when I'm not working, I'm usually researching things and reading books in my field, or I'm writing my own book on relationships and communication. So, how are you using the time that you have with your partner to move your relationship in the right direction instead of causing more conflict, more hurt feelings, more misunderstanding and hurt and pain? What are your partner's primary love languages? If you know this, you can utilize this to help work smarter, not harder, to connect with them and make them feel loved, cherished, and respected. Isn't that what we all just really want at the end of the day? Especially when life gets really hard. Our family is in a season right now where things are hard. We have a very sweet, loving, wonderful, kind family member who is quite young, who is battling cancer, and he's battled it really hard and it's not ending well. And this is when you really need your family to support you and to know what you need. But I also want to qualify that with, don't expect people to read your mind. Don't be afraid to ask for what you need. Don't be afraid to tell them what you need, because what you need and what another person needs could be really different and can look really different. And so ask them, like, how can I help you? What can I do? What do you need from me? And if that is too tricky, maybe you give them options. Like, would you like me to bring dinner over? Or, would you like me to come sit with the sick person while you go get some fresh air, or while you and your husband go out to dinner? So what can you do to connect more with your loved ones? And so here I'm not even just talking about our spouse, but I'm talking about just everyone that you love. Because everything that I teach in relationships can really, it ripples out, and it can all be applied to all of your relationships that you cherish, your friendships, your family relationships, all of that. Because people really just want to feel seen and heard at the end of the day. What are the top things that make you feel seen and heard? So, for example, for me, I am a words of affirmation person. So I really appreciate when someone verbalizes their appreciation for my efforts. Or I just got a text this morning from a client who said, thank you so much. You've changed my life. You've helped me, believe in love again and really have a good life. And so, that stuff lights me up. I keep that because that's what speaks to me and feeling meaningful and important and valued. For other people, it might be, my husband and I were just picking up our camper from the shop the other day, and he, bless his heart, didn't want me to stop and get gas alone. He wanted to fill the gas tank up first and And when we missed the exit because of construction, I said, it's fine. I can do it myself. Like, I'm good. He wasn't okay with that. He's an acts of service person. And so, he wanted to make sure I was safe because we were kind of in an unsafe area. So know that people show love in different ways. And one way isn't right and another way is wrong. It's just that certain ways speak to each individual a little differently. So while we're at this, I'll just talk a little bit about the love languages. And these all have a very wide gradient from, and these are in no order. So there's no ranking of importance or what is best and what is least. Gifts. So there have been times my husband has been on a run and picked me some wildflowers. That's a gift. There have been times he's been working in the area and said, hey, would you like a fountain soda from the gas station? That's a gift. There have been times where he's bought me a really nice piece of jewelry. So do you see these can go from being free to no cost to, quite expensive. And it doesn't matter. It's a gift, okay? The next one, and again, these are in no specific order, would be quality time. So spending time together. And I want to differentiate here that this can look different for different people. For females, this typically looks like spending time together in a meaningful way where you're connecting, you're having a conversation, you're doing something together. But for men, it might look like that. But it also might look like just knowing you're under the same roof together, and that makes them feel good, that they know where you are, they know you're safe, and everything is good in their world. So not in a controlling way, but just more in a safety way. The next one is words of affirmation. So this could be, oh, thank you so much for dinner. I mean, God bless my husband. Even if I burn dinner, he's like, thank you for making dinner. It was good. He might sometimes say, maybe you could not make this recipe again and it would be okay. But I really appreciate that he makes such an effort to speak my love language and saying like, you look pretty, or, oh, I noticed you got a haircut, or, that looks really nice on you. And guess what, girls? Guys like to hear they look handsome too. I think we don't realize that in our culture and we forget about that. The next one is physical touch. And this can look a lot of ways. It can be just, as you're walking by them, grazing their shoulder. It can be sitting together and holding hands. It can be sex. So all of these run a very wide gamut. I want you to remember that because that's important. The next one is, so we did quality time, we did physical touch, we did words of affirmation, we did gifts. And the next one is, I will think of it eventually. But apparently, quality time is the one that is really important for these women I started talking about, Kyle and Dorit, because, acts of service, I did say all of them. So they need their husband to be present, to be checked in, to be tuned into their relationships. I know Kyle lost a friend, and I think Mauricio was not there for her. That really impacted their relationship, their marriage. Dorit had a home invasion happen while her husband was away. And she has PTSD from that and feels that he is not connecting with her and caring enough about that. And so what is happening, and in my book that I'm working on, you'll hear me reference death by 1,000 paper cuts. So what happens is that these little things that we don't even realize are happening, that we're doing in the moment, happen. And over time, as they happen enough and again and again and again, it leads to someone just not caring anymore. Someone going, okay, I'm done. I give up. I can't care more about this relationship than you do. I don't feel like you care. I don't feel like you're fighting for this. I don't feel like you're plugged in. So I encourage you to really look at yourself. Are you plugged into your relationship? Are you aware of what your love languages are and what your partners are? Are you trying to make an effort to speak those to them? And if you don't know ways to do that, I've been doing this for 27 years, so reach out and I'll give you some tips. I know I was with a brand new client yesterday, and just in the first 10 minutes, she's telling me about her marriage. And, you know, I asked, well, what does your husband do? And based on that, I was able to kind of give her a profile of like, this is probably how he functions. And this is why it's all falling on deaf ears. And these are the changes you need to make. And so, you know, don't try to do this alone. I've had 27 years of one-on-one with individuals and couples. Utilize that knowledge to help you get to the bottom of things sooner. Because I promise you, if you try to make these repairs sooner, it is going to go a whole lot better than if you put it off and put it off and think, well, next month we'll do it. You know, this month we didn't get to do it because this big event happened or this family crisis happened and we had to deal with that. You can't keep putting your marriage on the back burner. Love, I actually just got off a call on this. Love is not all you need. Love is not enough on its own. And so we have to learn these things that no one teaches us. And I feel like no one talks about them. You know, I'm here shouting it from the rooftops because I feel like this is such vital information that we've been sent out into the world to be, you know, married and be successful individuals, but we've not been given the right tools. It's like you've just been given a bunch of sporks and you're supposed to figure this shit out. And that doesn't work. Like, how is that working for you? So I hope you found some value in this. I hope there were a couple of nuggets that really spoke to you. And if I can be of any help, you know where to find me. I'll leave a link below. Bye.